Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Angelo Leo made the first defence of his IBF World Featherweight title. Now, you may remember him knocking out, and I mean knocking out, Luis Alberto Lopez back in August of last year. This was considered to be an upset, but he caught Lopez in the 10th round and knocked him flat. I mean, knocked him out. He was counted out. You very rarely see that nowadays, a fighter being counted out. Usually the fight is stopped during the count or before the count's administered, but Lopez was sparked. And Angelo Leo, of course, came from absolutely, well, not absolutely nowhere, but I think he'd been a regular on the Pro Box TV channel, or platform. They show a lot of their gigs free on YouTube. I mean, I cannot sing the praise of Pro Box TV enough. I might even do a separate video about them because some of their cards are great and they have the best commentating team out there. Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi. Fantastic, really insightful, no nonsense, no hyperbole. Just, they know what they're looking at, and you watch it and you're almost educated in what you're seeing. Pro Box TV is great. And Angelo Leo made his name on the Pro Box channel. Now, this, like I say, this was the first defence of his IBF featherweight title, and it was against the Japanese fighter called Tomoki Kameda. This was over in Osaka in Japan. And British fans may remember Kameda 10 years ago. Yes, 10 years ago. He fought Jamie McDonald twice, back-to-back fights, and lost them both. This was over in America. He fought McDonald twice in America, lost 2 unanimous decisions, which at the time was considered a very big upset. And Kameda himself has been bantamweight world champ. In fact, they were WBO bantamweight shots or titles, and he lost the title to Jamie McDonald. But he's been a world champion in his own right, at a lower weight. And he came in against Leo with 42 wins, 23 KOs, 4 defeats, all on points, never stopped. But he is 33 years of age, so he's knocking on a little bit, and he has previously campaigned at lower weights. Now, this was an incredibly difficult fight to score, really difficult. I watched it. I didn't see it live, but I watched it, I think it's on YouTube. And I was struggling to see who the hell am I going to give that round to. The styles were somewhat different in that Kameda was the come forward guy. He was the guy trying to put the pressure on. He would leap in sometimes and be a bit free and easy with his head. And the referee spoke to him about this a few times. But Leo used his feet very well and avoided most of what were potential head clashes. And even though it was a really, really big ring, I don't know how big, but it looked like a massive ring, Leo, it was noticeable that even though Kameda was pushing forward with the pressure, trying to force Leo into a fight, Leo was very skillfully avoiding ever getting his back on the ropes, which I think was telling. He used his feet very well. Lots of sidesteps, semicircles, angles, But that's not to say he ran. Don't get me wrong for a second. He did not run. I mean, he was boxing on the back foot very, very well, countering well. Kameda was having success. Sometimes he was outworking Leo. By the way, both these guys were orthodox fighters. But Leo was able to, for the most part, contain Kameda. He had a slightly sharper, more accurate style. His work was sharper and more accurate overall. But again, there were pockets where, in fact, this applies to both fighters. This applied to Kameda, where the guy, they wouldn't do much, and then suddenly there'd be activity within the round, for 20 seconds or whatever, and then they both. It's almost like it's almost like a chess match. They were trying to sort of work out, okay, like Leo was thinking, okay, what's this guy going to do? He's going to come forward. I'm going to, what am I going to do offensively? Am I going to punch first, which he frequently did? Kameda, on the other hand, was thinking, you got the impression he was thinking, okay, I've got to get in close. But I've got to be effective with the pressure and so on. But it was very, very, very cat and mouse. very good to watch. I mean, it was technical, but at the same time, there was action. It was, I suppose, you would say the old cliche is one for the purists, and I think that might be the case. But yeah, I enjoyed this fight a lot, but it was really difficult to score, and it was no surprise when Angelo Leo won a majority decision. I mean, one guy, the majority decision was because one guy had it a draw. And I haven't. If it was a draw, I would have had no problem with that. Leo taking the belt, taking his belt home, yeah, no problem. I do feel a little bit for Kameda because even though he's 33 and he's had a long career, he didn't look shot at all, not by a long shot. Boom, boom. Angelo Leo, though, I mean, he's 31. He's not old, but he's not a young champion. And no doubt he wants to make hay while the sun shines, make a fair bit of money. He's actually a Mexican American. Lives in I think he lives in Nevada. I read somewhere. Kameda, he can get other shots. I mean, we're talking if he's at featherweight, him and Nick Ball would be a good little fight. Trust me. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that. There again, I think Angelo Leo and Nick Ball. Everyone wants to fight Nick Ball because he's so damn exciting. I understand. I understand why he is so appealing against so many other fighters because he is a little fireball, a little wrecking ball, isn't he? I mean, yeah, I really like Nick Ball. So put him in against Kameda, no problem. Put him in against Angelo Leo, no problem. And then, of course, you've got that, beanpole Rafael Espinoza, who I think might be the best of all the feathers. Him against Nick Ball. I mean, how can you imagine a 6'1" featherweight in against a 5'2" featherweight? Nearly a foot difference in height. That would be freaky to watch. People would be adjusting their television sets, thinking, "Is there something gone wrong here?" But anyway, getting back to Angelo Leo, he's got options basically. And I just wonder, I mean, this was in Osaka in Japan. I just wonder if they're thinking, if Inoue jumps up to featherweight, rather than him fight Nick Ball, maybe fight Leo and try and win that belt and then have a unification with Ball or Espinoza. But these are all permutations. I mean, this is all speculation, isn't it? Anyway, if you want to go and have a look at this fight, go and have a look at it. Because it is technically very, very good. It's a bit of a chess match, but it does have action. It's not a boring fight at all. And well done to Angelo Leo for retaining his title. So yeah, thank you for your time as always. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button because you help us out there. And also, if you like this vid, we've got plenty more for you. Christ, I mean, I must have done about 2,800 videos now in about 3.5, 4 years, whatever it is. But there's plenty for you to look at and also plenty more to come. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye for now.